Alright guys, good morning. 9:40 in the morning. We are on our way to Golden, Colorado. We're picking up some empty cans, going to Trenton, Ohio. It's a very light load, less than 5,000 pounds, which is awesome in every way except driving across eastern Colorado and all of Kansas can be very windy, and that makes me kind of nervous about the weight, but we'll do what we can. It's gorgeous here right now. It was crappy the last few days. I did check the weather. It's supposed to be, as far as temperature wise goes, really nice the whole way across. So
in 1/2 mile, be in the right lane, then keep right towards Worth Parkway.
We're going to make it across Kansas into Missouri today. We'll stop at the Petro at Oak Grove, Missouri. Not too far across the border into Missouri, but we need to get across Kansas today. I don't mess with Kansas in those winds. They can be nasty. So going to pick up at a place. This is a load for convoy, believe it or not. I just did this run. I didn't record anything of it, but I just did this run last Saturday. Went to Trenton, Ohio, and then lo and behold found a really good paying load coming back home, which doesn't happen a whole lot.
Keep right towards Worth Parkway, then take the ramp on the right.
I went ahead, booked it. That was an Uber freight load actually, which is, it's odd right now because this will be my second convoy load in a week. And before that, I think I'd only done 3 loads with them the whole time.
To US 36 East Fort Denver.
Oh, shut up. And then only one that was of any distance. Usually I'll use them for local work when I want to do that, because there seems to be more loads with them doing that than anything else. But this is actually a pretty normal load out of here, but I've always been nervous to do it because in the description it talks about how stringent they are with their trailers. And my trailer's in good shape. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't leak. I just redid the floor like you guys saw from my earlier videos. But it just made me nervous, and it's like, well, I'm not even going to mess with booking something and then having them tell me to go away because my trailer's not sufficient for what they need. But I took the chance last week, booked one of these, and had 0 issues. So this might
US
be
36.
Sorry about the GPS. This might be something that we do kind of normal actually to get away from home, because it seems to pay all right. It's really light, which is always nice. So we'll just see. It's called the Ball Packaging Company, same company that makes like Ball mason jars. So I don't know, the reviews on the Convoy app are horrible for it, but my experience when I showed up there, I mean, I was there a couple hours. I signed in. They have parking for the trucks that are waiting. They don't want you to show up early at all. They want you to be there on time for your appointment. So I think I got there last time like 15 minutes early, and I'm going to do the same this time. But I didn't have any trouble. I hope that this time's the same, because I'd really like to be able to get going with most of the daylight, with some daylight left anyway, I should say. This time of year driving in the dark, I really would rather not, because there's just chances for ice and slick spots. Denver got dumped on with snow on, I think it was that Thursday, the day I was delivering, of course. It only was like 20 minutes from my house, but it took like an hour to get home just because this road we're on right now was horrible, and it was dumped in snow. But now it's warmed up, it's all melted off the road, thank goodness. Hopefully the whole way across. I checked the road cameras and stuff yesterday, and the temperatures, we should have clear sailing pretty much most of the way. So hopefully that's the case. But we'll get up here and see how it goes. We'll talk to you guys when we get there. finally got loaded. That took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but that's okay. We're gonna have to do a split break to get to as far as I want to go, but it is what it is. And now we are headed on 70 East, which we take almost the entire way. Some of my videos might get repetitive with 70 East because that's the road I take out of here 90% of the time. Because most of the time I try to find something to Ohio or Indiana or Illinois, because there is a lot of freight to move there. Once you get started in this, you'll kind of see that, like, the farther west you go, the worse the freight, and definitely the rates get, until you hit California, and then it kind of picks up a bit. So, but it doesn't, loads don't pay enough to go to California. They just don't. They're really, really cheap. They try to move crap into California for, at least for dry vans. I don't look at any freight other than dry vans, guys, so I don't know what rates are for flatbeds or reefers anywhere. I have no desire or need to know that. So when I say rates are good or bad, it's specifically talking about dry vans. So, antique store over there to the left, the Brass Armadillo. Pretty cool place. I've only been in there once, but they have got a lot of stuff. Man, I am so happy. It is such a beautiful day out. My last delivery was in a freaking blizzard. Speaking of that, so a lot of states have laws that you have to have tire chains on you from, like, usually I think it's like September to March in Colorado or something like that. I genuinely don't drive anywhere where I would need those, and if I found myself in a situation where I think I need those, or they're saying I need those, I'm gonna pull over. So what I have are called snow socks, and they're just like heavy-duty pieces of fabric that go over your tires, and they're supposed to give you, like, you know, extra added traction or whatever, like a chain does. Well, let me tell you something. The other day, I was trying to come home, after dropping off my load, and so it was really icy, and to turn onto the road that I live on, if you come from one direction, it's a downhill. If you come from the other, it's an uphill. Well, I was sliding, so I was going downhill, and I slid past the intersection. I'm like, oh, that's no big deal. I can go down and turn around, and that way I have the uphill coming back, and I won't slide, right? Well, it was so slick, and I was empty, I got on the uphill and had to stop at a traffic light, and then couldn't move. So it became this whole ordeal. So I got out and put those snow socks on, thinking, all right, well, these will help me enough in this little bit of crap to just get up to, I mean, I had to move 20 feet. And no, they don't. They do not work at all. And maybe it was because I was empty, but I really think that if I'd have had chains, they'd have dug into that ice and snow, and I'd have went right up there. So if you drive somewhere a lot that you think you might need those, or there's a chance you might need those, go ahead and get you some real snow chains. Don't use these snow socks. They're horrible. They just really are. They're bad. I have a set of chains. I left them at my parents' house over the summer because they're just ungodly heavy, and I don't ever want to be in a situation I have to use them. But after that debacle, actually before it, but I ordered some chain hangers for my trailer and had them shipped to my parents too. And when I get there, I will have chains on this truck from now on, because those snow socks didn't do anything. And that's the first time I've ever tried to use them. It's the first time I put them on. They didn't help. And maybe if I had some more weight, but honestly, if I had more weight, my tires are really good. I'd have probably just been able to grip it and get up there, but the main reason is because I was empty. So definitely chains oversized. In my opinion, anyways. But it took us a couple hours to get loaded. It was too long. It starts eating into your clock. Like I said, I'll have to pretty much do a split break so I can make it, because now I still got to take a stupid 30-minute break. I understand why we have time limits on how long we can drive and all that. The 30-minute break actually really bothers me. And I think I've said this before, but maybe for company drivers, like, they should have to take them because their company won't let them have one or something. But if I don't need a break and I don't want to stop for a half hour, why do I have to stop for a half hour? I mean, I can drive 7 hours and 59 minutes without a break, but then I have to sit for 30 minutes, and that's honestly just such a waste of time. You know, I am my company, so I don't need a break. If I want one, I take one. It is what it is. All right, though, we'll get on up the road here, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Show you a little bit of Denver and out east. Richmond, Indiana, 46 miles from our drop that we drop off at 11:30. It's 10:15 now. We're about an hour away. The place that we're delivering to does not really care for people to be there too early, so we're not going to show up too early. But we are going to get taken off here. I got here last night and I've been sitting here all day, and it is time to go. Let this guy do whatever he's going to do. I don't know if he's even sure what it is he's going to do. He's out of our way though. So here we go. Like I said, we're leaving this Love's. I've been here since last night. Really, this load could deliver a day earlier, but I'm okay with that. I've said it before. I like to have a little bit of lead time. You know, if something goes wrong, you got to do something. And this one paid well enough to, if I have to sit for a little while, I have to sit for a little while. It's okay. But we're going to go get this dropped off. And then, and right now there's some massive, nasty weather headed for damn near the entire United States. There's a storm that is supposed to stretch from basically the Rockies all the way down into Texas, all the way up into the Northeast, the Midwest, just everywhere. I've been looking for some loads, trying to get somewhere where it'd just be rain or, you know, something like that, or miss it altogether. But the problem is,
in 1/2 mile,
it's Monday.
Take the exit on the right to I-70 East for Dayton.
If I pick up a new load tomorrow, which is Tuesday, if I head west, I'm going to drive smack into the middle of it. So really, the only way I could really go without probably having to pull off at a truck stop forever is south, which I wouldn't mind doing, but there's not much going to Georgia right now. Going to Florida, there's some, but once you get down there, then what? Then you're stuck down there. So we're dropping this off in Southwest Ohio. My parents live in Northwest Ohio. We are probably going to head up there.
Take the exit on the right to I-70 East
and just see what the weather does for a couple days. I like chasing money. I like this job, but I am not out here going to risk my equipment and my life to deliver stuff. It's just not worth it. There's, surprisingly, because it is January, there are a ton of loads that need moved. They're actually paying pretty well depending where you're going, but a lot of them were going to the Northeast that just got smashed with a big storm. And like I said, the rest of this weather's coming in, so I'm just going to go hunker down and see what becomes of it all. If it doesn't happen, I'll get back out on the road, but I'm not willing to take that risk with, like I said, with my life, anyone else's life, or my equipment. So we'll just shut it down. Thankfully I have the autonomy to be able to do that. Some guys, the company guys, probably don't, that's just sad. I mean, they won't have a choice if this storm is like what they're going to say to it. Everybody's going to be shutting down. There's no way around it. So, but right now the weather's good. It's cold, but the roads are clear. Everything's good to go. So we'll get up here. Like I said, we have about an hour to drive to get there, and then get this unloaded, and we'll see what happens after that. So we'll talk to you guys when we get there. All right, we are at the TA in London, Ohio. It is 12:50. We got in here late last night. It was below freezing and raining, so that made the day fun. Right now it's below freezing, but it would appear that things are melting. The sun's out nice and full, thank God. And we are on our way to our pickup.
Exit on the right.
That is 17 miles away to pick up a load of food stuff going to Denver, Colorado. I brought a load of empty Monster energy drink cans out here from Denver, and really didn't plan on going back right away, but the rate of this load was such that I'm not going to say no. And it's actually kind of crazy because I book most of my loads are Coyote or TQL. I've ran very few Convoy and very few Uber freight loads. But the load that I brought out here was from Convoy, and it was one of the best paying loads I've ever gotten out of Denver. And then this one is actually an Uber freight load that we're going to pick up. It's a really good rate also. So, like I said, I didn't plan on going back to Denver right away. But sometimes things don't go as planned. And honestly, like right now, it's the end of January. The chance of weather going bad and the roads being bad and all that stuff is pretty high. Last night, driving down here, I couldn't tell if they were just wet or if they were sheets of ice. In some spots, I know that they were getting icy. It looked great this morning. Yeah, it was a white knuckle trip yesterday, last night to do this, but we're gonna go pick this up.
Continue on I-70.
We gotta be back in Denver Thursday morning. It's Tuesday right now. I have my full reset clock. We're only 16 miles from this pickup, like I said, so we're gonna get up here, hopefully get loaded quick, and make as many miles out of this area as we can, as fast as we can. I really try to avoid snow and ice and all that. Some guys, they don't give a damn. They'll drive right into it, you know. Kudos to them, but I try to avoid it. There's just too much that can go wrong. This is my entire life. I have everything invested in this truck and trailer, and I don't want to jeopardize that, and I sure as heck don't want to hurt anybody or anything like that. So I just try to avoid it. When I am in it, I go slow and easy. So once I get this load back to Denver, which, believe it or not, the weather in Denver is a whole lot nicer than it is over here in Ohio right now. Once I get back to Denver, I'm going to try to find some stuff headed more south. Like this little bit of snow on the side of the road and stuff like that, that doesn't bother me at all. That's fine. But, you know, last night when it started raining and stuff like that, that's just mortifying. And there were a couple of semis off the road. I don't know what caused it, though. It was really strange because I know the roads were wet. I don't think they were all that icy, but I guarantee you there were some black ice spots on there, and that's what those guys hit. Truck's filthy from everything on the road. Just had a bunch of repair done. I was down from around December 16th until just a couple of days ago, the end of January. Had some repairs done. New valve cover seals, DEF system gone through. I still need a little bit of work done on the truck, but at some point you got to say enough's enough and get back to making money instead of spending money. And that's where I'm at right now. I know what I got to get done to the truck, and I know how much it's going to cost, and I've got to make some money first. Get the bank account built back up, then we'll get that done, and then this spring and summer we're going to live on the road for a long time. Because come next December, January, February, I want to be able to comfortably shut down whenever I need to. I'm very thankful right now that today looks like it's a gorgeous day. Hopefully it stays that way. Once I get loaded, we're going to try to make it to the western side of Missouri tonight. You know, I always try to get loads that are morning pickups, morning deliveries. And on this run, none of that's holding true. I picked up my load from Denver at like 1:30 in the afternoon. So then you end up driving late into the night. I delivered it yesterday at 11:30 at night. So after they were done unloading it, and I got to the truck stop, it was 1:30 in the morning again. So now it's almost 1 o'clock. The pickup window for this load is between 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. So we have plenty of time, but I would have preferred to have been able to be there at 8 and be halfway across Missouri by now, but it just didn't happen that way. So what we're going to do is get it picked up, and we're going to drive as late as we have to, as far as we can. The load we're picking up delivers Thursday at 10 a.m. I'm going to try to be back in Denver Wednesday night, which is entirely doable with the hours that I'll have left. So that's the plan for today. I'll talk to you guys a little bit when we get up there.